Hello everyone. So this is what week? This is the 10th week and the third lesson online. Today we are going to cover the 7th unit. First, we will start with the vocabulary section, 7a. On this page, you see some vocabulary pairs. These are, in each pair, there are words that can be confused. So, what you see in the pairs are the words that can be misused and confused with each other. Now, I will try to explain the distinction between these words by explaining them one by one. Let's begin with the first pair, high school. A high school and a secondary school. We will go like this. The first one, the second one is a pupil and a student. The third is the distinction between a term and a semester. And the fourth, pass an exam and fail an exam. So a high school is for children in ages between 11 and 18 years in the USA, while a secondary school is for children that are aged between 11 and 18 years old in the United Kingdom. So, high school is used in the United States while a secondary school is used in the United Kingdom. This is the distinction. Now the second pair, a pupil. A pupil studies in a primary or secondary school, while a student studies at a university, college, or evening class. So, we can make a distinction like this. A pupil is a child student, while a student is an older one. A term is one of the 3 periods of year during which classes are held in schools and universities. A semester is the 2 periods that the school or college year is divided into, especially in the USA. So, if a school year is divided into 2, it's a semester. If it's divided into 3, then it's a term. Each division is a term. If the school year is divided into 3 periods, and each period is named a semester if the school year is divided into 2. To pass an exam, as you already know, is to achieve the required standard in an exam or test, while to fail an exam is the opposite. Be punished and be expelled. Be punished is to be made to suffer because you have done something bad or wrong. Be expelled is to officially have to leave school because you have done something wrong. So, when you're expelled, there's no turning back. But when you're punished, you get your punishment and do what is required of you in return. To cheat and to misbehave. To cheat is to act in a dishonest way in order to gain an advantage in an exam, like to copy from somebody or to copy from a piece of paper. To misbehave is to behave badly. The miss prefix before the verb behave means badly. A state school is run by the government and is usually free for all students. However, you have to pay to go to a private school. A head teacher is a person who is in charge of a school, while a teacher teaches in any school apart from university. Those who teach in universities are called instructors. A head teacher, we can call a head teacher the principal. Make somebody study something is to force somebody to study it, while let somebody study something is to give somebody permission or opportunity to study. A graduate is a person who has a university degree, while a student is a person who studies at university or college. So, a graduate has finished studying while a student is already studying. A nursery school is a school for children between the ages of 2 and 4 in the United Kingdom. It's not compulsory. So, the parents or legal guardians of the child can choose whether the child should go to a nursery school or not, while the primary school is compulsory. History is a subject at school or university, which is the study of past events, while a story is a description of events and people that a writer has invented in order to entertain the readers. I think the explanations are quite enough. So let's pass on to 7b. I'm going to read for you the 3 texts so that you can check your answers. Before you watch this part, please complete the gaps first. Okay, to rent. Large and sunny flats in Deansgate, a lovely suburb of Manchester. This modern and spacious flat is very near the city centre and only a 10-minute walk away from Deansgate station. The flat is on the 2nd floor with a balcony that looks onto the block's shared garden space. Let me fill in the gaps for you so that you can also see them. 2nd floor, with a balcony. So, the second text, opportunity, lovely cottage in the country for sale. It's near Bodmin Moor, Cornwall, surrounded by fields and farms. There's a front garden leading to the entrance of this amazing old home. The front garden has a low wall and the property is accessed through a wooden gate. The property has many original features, including an open fire in the living room and wooden ceilings. It has 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. The roof is in need of repairs and the chimney will need some work before the fire can be used. Weaving is highly recommended. roof and chimney. Do you remember fairy chimneys? It comes from this chimney, as you already know. For sale, designer house on the outskirts of Oxford. The property has a low-maintenance front garden with a practical path to the front door. This attractive and modern home has a terrace with amazing views of the surrounding countryside and steps down to a swimming pool. The ground floor consists of a large living room, a spacious kitchen with a room for dining table, and a small toilet. The two bedrooms and the luxurious bathroom are on the top floor. It should be top floor, yeah. There's also a large basement downstairs for all your storage needs. Booking a viewing is strongly recommended, as we think it will be sold quickly. Okay, so now we will proceed with 7th unit grammar sections. 7a. What we see on the page is first conditional, future time clauses, when, until. As the title says, future time clauses when and until. It means that when we see a clause starting with when and until, as soon as, while, and so on, we can analyze these two clauses. We can make a distinction between time clauses constituting subordinate clauses and the other clause, which is the main clause, where the verb is the verb of the sentence. Which means that there aren't two separate sentences when we consider these two clauses, but the verb of the main clause is the main verb, and these two separate clauses, make one sentence. The part including when, as soon as, while is the subordinate clause, while the other sentence, the other clause actually, is the main clause. And these two clauses both make a sentence. Let me give the answers in the dialogues. Ooh, the weather's terrible. Unless it improves at the weekend, we will have to cancel the party. Unless means if not. Unless it improves means if it doesn't improve. We'll have to. What? We can't cancel it. But we won't be able to have a barbecue if it rains. We won't be able to have a barbecue if it rains? Well, if the weather is still bad, we will have lunch inside instead. The second dialogue now. So, don't forget to phone me when you get there. The first one, don't forget, is the imperative form. When you get there. Don't forget is the main clause, while when you get there is the subordinate clause, because it gives the time of the sentence. When you get there. Yes, mom, I will call. As soon as I arrive. I will call is the main clause, while as soon as I arrive is the subordinate one. So, will call is the main verb of the sentence. And if anything goes wrong is the subordinate clause. Will you let me know straight away? Yes, mom, stop worrying. What time will you be home later? Well, I have a meeting until about 6. Until about 6 is the subordinate. I have a meeting until about 6 is the subordinate clause, but I will leave as soon as it finishes. I will leave is the main clause, while as soon as it finishes is the subordinate one. I will leave as soon as it finishes. Okay. Send me a text when you are on the train and I'll start making dinner. Alright, see you later. Send me a text when you are on the train. When you are on the train is the subordinate clause of the sentence. Will you come back to work after you have the baby, Joe? Will you come back is the main clause. After you have the baby is the subordinate one. Well, probably I won't come back until he is at least a year old. Sorry. Oh, we will really miss you here. Yes, I'll miss you too. Before I leave, we should all go out for dinner one evening. Yes, that's a great idea. Your room's a mess, Tom. Don't worry, I will tidy it before Mom and Dad get home. Before Mom and Dad get home is the subordinate clause, while I will tidy is the main clause. Yes, because they won't be very happy. They won't be very happy is the main clause. If it looks like that. If it looks like that, the conditional sentence, the conditional part, is the subordinate clause. I hope I could get it to you guys. Then other dialogues on the next page. I want to remind you something before we start the activity. The time of the first conditional and the second conditional, the time referred to in these conditionals are the same. They both refer to the present time. However, there's a distinction between their realities. The first conditional talks about the real present, while the second conditional talks about unreal present. How does this happen? The first conditional talks about probable conditions, while the second conditional talks about improbable conditions or slight possibilities. I mean, when I make a sentence with the second conditional, you should understand that the probability of the condition to happen is really little. While when I make a first conditional sentence, the probability of the conditional is quite high. Okay, let's pass on to the activity. This house looks nice and it's just been built. We moved in there. If we moved in there, we wouldn't need to do any work. Yes, but it's on a really busy road. We would have a lot of problems with noise if we lived there. Well, how about this one? It has 3 bedrooms, so we wouldn't have enough space if our friends or family came to stay. And the garden's huge. If my sister brought the kids, they would have lots of room to play. Yes, and we could have some great parties outside if the weather were cool, if the weather were good. In the second conditional, we don't use was in the conditional sentence, in the conditional clause. Instead, we only use the were inflection of the be verb. So, where is it exactly? It's just outside Oxford. Oxford, that's nowhere near my work. If we moved there, it would take me over an hour to drive to the office. Yes, but if you went by train, it wouldn't take that long. And you would feel much less stressed if you didn't have to drive. I suppose so. How much is it? It says offers over £595,000. Wow, I think the bank manager would laugh at us if we asked to borrow that much money. I guess it would be too expensive. I'll keep looking for something cheaper. Here we only used second conditional sentences, second conditional clauses, because they are looking for flats, and when when you want to hire a flat, rent a flat, it's not obvious if you're going to rent it or not. So it's a little chance for people to rent the flat that before they see it. So we use the second conditional, because there's equal chance for each flat that they're checking out. There's a little chance for the people to live there, to rent there. Okay, the second section. Here we're going to choose the correct words, and we're going to decide if the conditional should be the first or the second one. If they don't hurry, they will miss the bus. Gerçekten de acele etmezlerse otobüsü kaçıracaklar. If we had the money, we would buy a house in the country. Lisa will have a lot of fun when she goes to Germany to study next year. Unless they reduce the price, if they don't reduce the price, they will never sell their house. If I were you, I would take the dress back to the shop. It just doesn't suit you. Annabelle will look for a job as soon as she gets her degree. If it weren't so windy, but it is, we could go for a walk on the beach. If you found some extra money in your bank account, would you spend it? Sorry, I will correct it. You will never finish your homework if you keep chatting with your friends on Facebook. Sarah will be really upset if she doesn't find her necklace. We must help her look for it. So, it's over for this week. I'm sure I could teach you a word at least. So, see you next week. Stay healthy. Bye.